Hello everyone, I hope everyone is fine and well. Today we're going to talk about or start Unit 7 in Book 4. But before we start Unit 7, we will revise a topic that we discussed in Unit 6. The topic was recycling. What does it mean, recycling? Recycling means to reuse old things after some changes. Like if you have empty plastic bottles, you send them to the factory and they are reused after this. And we said that this helps our environment. Similarly, today in Unit 7, we will talk about a topic that affects our environment. Okay, so what's the topic that we will talk about today? We will talk about the weather. The weather. What does it mean, weather? It means the atmosphere in your city or your country. And it's clear that the weather is different according to the place and according to the season. For example, in Saudi Arabia, in Jeddah, the weather in summer is different from the weather in spring, and the weather in spring is different from it in winter. So it differs according to the season. In addition, the weather in Saudi Arabia is different from the weather in the United States. So it depends on the place. So we have two factors actually that make the weather different. What are the two factors? The time or the season of the year and the place. Okay. We have a question here for you. What's the weather like in your city? What's your city? Of course, it's Jeddah. Okay. We have choices here to choose from. What's the weather like in your city? It's a humid. What the meaning of humid? Humid means you can find water vapor in the atmosphere. So it's a humid, or it's cold and rainy, or it's a snowy and frosty. Snowy and frosty means like when it rains, but snow, not water, okay? Or it's hot, it's mild. Mild means not very hot, not very cold. Mild, not very hot and not very cold. Or it's dry. So again, what are the choices? The different kinds of weather. Humid, cold and rainy, snowy and frosty, hot, mild, dry. Okay. As for me, I think in Jeddah, it's a humid and a little bit hot. So here in Jeddah, I think the weather is humid and hot. And of course, this is different in another country or in another city. Okay, so as we mentioned before, we mentioned that there are some kinds of normal weather. What the meaning of normal weather? The usual weather. Like what? Like it's sunny, it's hot, it's mild, it's cold, it's rainy, and even it's snowy and frosty. However, we have other kinds of weather. We call them extreme kinds of weather. What the meaning of extreme weather? Extreme means unusual or abnormal. Unusual or abnormal. What does it mean? It means that these kinds of weather affect the environment badly in a great way. Why? Because they can damage everything. They can damage streets, furniture, sometimes houses. Okay, so these kinds of extreme weather are of course dangerous, and they are not found in all the countries. As we said, it depends on the place and the season. To mention some kinds or some examples of these kinds of extreme weather, as you see, number one here, the word a hurricane. What's a hurricane? A hurricane is a word that refers to extremely strong wind. Extremely strong wind that moves very fast. It moves really fast, okay? And it affects, as we said, the environment, the streets, the trees, the cars in the streets. Like, if I ask you to look at these pictures you see now, to choose one of them, A, B, C, D, or E, to refer to the word hurricane, of course it will be the picture letter D. D. Why? Because as you see, the trees are about to move by the wind. It means we have strong wind, right? We have strong wind. This is called, as we said, hurricane. This is called what? A hurricane. Okay. Number two here in the list, tornado. Tornado. Okay. Tornado means like a column of wind. Column of strong wind. So teacher, you want to say that a hurricane and a tornado are related to the wind. That's true. But what's the difference between a hurricane and tornado? Hurricane, the fast movement of wind in different directions. But a tornado, like a column of wind that moves around and round. It makes, like, when you look at it, like a circle moving from the earth towards the sky. So if I ask you now to choose a picture from these pictures that refers to the word tornado, of course it will be the picture letter E. As you see, circles of air and dust moving like a column from earth towards the sky. So until now we have mentioned two examples of extreme weather, a hurricane and a tornado. Number three, or the third example, a blizzard. What's a blizzard? Of course, it's another kind of extreme weather. Blizzard means the kind of weather that has a lot and a lot of snow. But this snow can cover streets and cars and trees, so it damages or destroys a lot of things, which is very dangerous. Blizzard. Blizzard. So now if I ask you to choose one of these pictures to refer to the word blizzard, of course it will be the picture letter A. Why? Because as you see, a lot of snow that covers trees and about to cover the car. So letter A, picture letter A, refers to the word blizzard. Okay, until now we have mentioned three examples of extreme weather: hurricane, tornado, and a blizzard. Now we will talk about the fourth example, which is a flood. A flood. What's a flood? A flood, when there is a lot and a lot of rain, the water accumulates in streets. So people cannot move in the streets, cars cannot move, and we have like a sea or river in the streets. So this is called a flood. It means a lot and a lot of water in the streets because we have heavy rain. Okay? Flood. So now if I ask you to choose a picture to refer to the word flood, of course it will be the picture letter B, because as you see in the letter B, this picture, you can see a lot of water in the streets. No one can move in this water. This is called a flood. Okay. So we have mentioned until now again 4 examples of extreme weather: a hurricane, fast movement of wind in all directions; a tornado, a column of wind; a blizzard, like a snowy storm that covers everything; a flood, a lot of water in the streets; and the last example we will talk about now is a drought. Drought. Teacher, what does it mean, drought? Drought means there is no water at all, like in the desert. So, drought is the opposite of flood. The opposite of flood. Why? Because in flood there is a lot of water, much water in the streets that cover everything. But drought means there is no water at all, there is no rain. Animals are about to die, people are about to die, plants are about to die. So, as we mentioned, my students, we mentioned 2 kinds of weather. Normal weather, like sunny, hot, cold, rainy, snowy. And the second kind of weather, extreme weather, like a hurricane, tornado, blizzard, flood, and drought. So, my students, we have talked about 2 kinds of weather, as we said, the normal weather and the extreme weather. Now, if you open your learner's book, page 97, you will find a listening question. Unfortunately, we can't do this, the listening part now, but we are responsible for this part, the vocabulary part. We will find a matching question. You will match the word to the definition. What the meaning of definition? The meaning. So we have some words and we have the meaning of these words. We have to match the word to the meaning. Okay. Like what? Like letter A, the word warning. What does it mean, warning? We have choices here. The right choice is that warning means an announcement that something bad might happen. So I tell you that something bad might happen. This is called warning. So the answer, letter A, number 4. Warning, an announcement that something bad might happen. Okay, the second word is severe. Severe. Severe means very bad. Severe means very bad. Okay, this is easy. So letter B, the answer, number 6. Severe, very bad. Letter C, the word speed. Speed. Speed refers to number 7, how fast or slow something is. So speed means how fast or slow something is. C, the answer, 7. Letter D, the word build up. Build up. Build up refers to the meaning of number 1, to get bigger. So build up means to get bigger. So letter D, the answer is number 1. Letter E, the word rotate. Rotate. What's the meaning of rotate? Rotate means number 2, to turn round and round. So rotate means to turn round and round. So letter E, the answer is number 2. Letter F, take cover. Take cover. The meaning of take cover is to protect yourself underneath something. So take cover means to protect yourself underneath something. Letter F, the answer is number 3. Now the word damage. Damage. Damage means when things are broken or destroyed. When things are broken or destroyed. So the answer number G or letter D, number 5. And as you see, the answers are mentioned down here. And good luck, my students. You will find, inshallah, the homework and the worksheets on the electronic